We have to do a lot more, and we got to start with Donald Trump.
What do you mean?
Well, he's got to be in there because he's going to go after the traffickers.
Do you think he understands that?
We were with him last night.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Bedminster, yes.
Yeah. Oh, so
showed
he's going to be moved to do something. I didn't know that.
Oh,
he
yeah.
was in
he's
tears last night.
This is the new Moses. I mean, I'm still Jesus, but he's the new Moses. Pharaoh, let my children go free.
All right.
The problem that society faces when examining Donald Trump's long and grotesque history of sexual abuse is that there are so many accusations against him that they all eventually merge together into a collective background noise. There is too much information to process, causing our minds and emotions to shut down and become numb. With every new accusation, we just kind of shrug our shoulders. The bottom line is, his predatory behavior has no impact on the voting public. The same can be said for the freakishly high number of pedophile friends Donald Trump has had over the last few decades. There's been so many pedophiles in his life that the brain can't process it. Having 21 pedophile friends is an extreme number, even for a famous person like Trump. The fact that he brought many of these known pedophiles up on stage with him during his rallies demonstrates his lack of concern about their past abuses, and demonstrates zero compassion towards their victims. What I found to be the most incredible discovery during my research is the fact that most of these abusive friends of Trump's are either very famous or extremely rich, or both. What this teaches us is that whatever the deep sickness is that causes a grown man to abuse a minor cannot be healed or dissolved with money and fame. Donald Trump is a perfect example of this. Born into great wealth, yet he has a track record of decades of sexual abuse, of which we're still only scratching the surface. So the question remains, why do wealthy men with beautiful wives, large estates scattered around the world, and more money than they could ever spend, have this insatiable need to abuse young girls or boys? It likely has to do with power and control. Experiencing the excitement surging through your body as you dominate someone so inferior to you in strength and mental capacity that it makes you feel like a god. Apparently, this is the sort of hideous action they need to take in order to feel alive. I'm not a doctor, but that would be my guess. Why else would a multi-billionaire like Leon Black not only need to have sex with a young girl, but also physically and verbally abuse her, leaving her bleeding and begging to go to the hospital? The sad irony of all this is actually the reason why I created this documentary in the first place. During his first term as president, Donald Trump was being hailed as a savior. He was the man who was going to put an end to child sex trafficking. His followers passionately believed that Trump was put on earth by God to wipe out the child sex industry. Jim Caviezel, who played the lead role in the movie about child sex trafficking, Sound of Freedom, called Trump the new Moses. According to MAGA, he's the chosen one who was going to banish all the pedophiles from Hollywood. It made my stomach turn that this horrible predator who abused children for decades is being hailed as the new savior by millions of people who refuse to look at the facts. Trump is not a savior. He's a monster. Donald Trump is a human being with some really deep and profound issues. He'll never be forced to seek help because he has tens of millions of defenders saying that his abusive past never happened. Well, it did happen, and it won't remain well hidden. The universe will provide the truth. It always does. Whether it's an eager journalist or a humorous twist of fate, Trump's indiscretions will become known. And in that wild flash of truth, the mysterious control he has over people's common sense will lessen. Good people who have currently thrown all self-respect out the window in order to defend him will slowly regain their senses. There is one crime in the world that is universally abhorred, even by the worst criminals in prison. A crime that would cause even Donald Trump to lose support. And that is the crime of raping a child. Trump cannot erase his past. Eventually, it will break through the darkness that he's cast upon the country and the world. He's big, but he's not that big. My hope is that this documentary will be a small part of the process of bringing his truth to light and the healing such an act of grace will provide. When I look into the darkness, I see only hope.